Alright everyone, what is going on? Welcome back once again to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to check out a short drama slash thriller action type of film. This one here is called Skin, and it is by Searchlight Pictures. This one here is a 2019 Academy Award winning Best Live Action Film. So I'm very excited to see what this one is going to be about. I know it's going to have some action in it. So I'm very excited to check this out. If you guys want to check this one out for yourselves though, on your own time, you can click in the link in the description down below this video. Otherwise, you can watch me react to this, and I will give you guys my thoughts as always at the end of the video. Before I jump into this though, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying the content, and leave a comment down below if you have any suggestions, any recommendations for further viewings or reactions. Also, make sure you hit that bell notification so that you're notified every time I upload a video. And don't forget to share the channel. If you guys also, once again, enjoy the channel, don't forget to share it and let them know we're doing reactions and speed drawings as well. I got an oil painting coming up, so I'm very excited to share that with you guys very, very soon. Probably by the beginning of next month, it'll be ready to go. I don't know if you guys see the chair back there. That's where I set up my camera to film it, because it's a very high what is it, an easel, very high easels and a very large canvas. So I need that chair to lift up the camera. But anyway, go ahead and subscribe down to the channel if you want to see more paint. Let's go ahead and jump to this and see what we think about this, and I will give you guys my thoughts. Jesus. Alright you guys, there you have it. This was Skin. So first of all, this film was amazing. It was a phenomenal storytelling in such a short amount of time. And the way they focus on these two different stories of you know, each family, I mean, it's just, I mean, it's fulfilling, you know, it's satisfying because they tell enough of them to know who they are. Well, at least, you know, with the white family, the Caucasian family, they show a little bit more of them than the black family. But, well, the story starts out with again, the white family, and they're all very united, you know. Well, first it just kind of starts off with the kid and the dad, and they're just kind of, you know, they have a really close bond together, and like an unbreakable bond, you know. And you can see how the dad really cares about his child. He'll do anything to protect him, and also he has love for his wife. You know, it just kind of starts off with him cutting his hair in front of the house, and then eventually they all go to like a shooting range, and they just start shooting at things, you know, like a lot of people with guns would do, like full-spirited Americans, you know, all USA. I mean, I love how they brought all those things, all these kind of behaviors and beliefs, you know, into this family, because it made sense of why they were doing all these activities. And you can see how the dad is teaching his son how to shoot a gun and, you know, be just like them, be the next person growing up, you know, that is exactly like them, if not better. And the mom, you can see, is kind of protective of him, you know, doing what a mother would do best, protecting her child, keeping him away from trouble. She's always the one that's saying, hey, stay away from that snake, you know, hey, don't make him shoot that gun, he's too young. And the dad's like, no, he's a pro. All of these little things we see that the mom really just doesn't want to hate anybody. So you can see that she's not full of pride or hatred, right? But the dad is the one that's constantly you can see that it's constantly in the child's life more, and just, you know, has a lot of fun with him and shows him their ways. So we see them go through some fun activities here and there, and the mom, you know, later on with her kid is playing in the store with the shopping cart, and then just, you know, them just having a fun night, playing around together and just being close together and all of that. Well, as the dad is paying on the what's it called, on the cash registers, when he's paying for the stuff, you can see that the kid is staring at a black guy playing with a toy. And so obviously that gets his attention, and he starts to, you know, smile at him, and the guy notices that the kid is staring at him, so he starts to become playful with the toy, as we saw. But then as the dad notices that his kid is staring at the guy, you know, smiling, you can see that he starts getting very mad, and for absolutely zero reasons. There's absolutely no motive for him to get angry, but I can tell that because of his bond with his child, he immediately becomes defensive about things, you know, to protect them and be a tough guy in front of his kid and all of these things. but the man did nothing to the child. They had in no certain way that he hurt the child or say anything bad to the child. And so, well, the guy says, "Hey, are you messing with my child?" And he says, "No, he was looking at the toy." But anyway, the guy starts to escalate the situation, the white guy, and he starts to just get hateful and yell just bad things to him. He calls him the N-word and just keeps saying like, "Hey, you know, do you have a problem with me?" and all of that. And so, well, the guy just, you know, the other guy just leaves the store and he just says, "Hey, you're my problem." But, you know, he doesn't do anything. He just walks away, and as he's headed towards his car, this is when the dad calls up his boys, and he goes to where the guy's headed, and all of a sudden these guys just show up out of nowhere. I think they were close by or something, I'm not sure, but they just show up, and then they start to, you know, beat up the guy, the black guy, before he makes it to his when And well, that's when we get this very tragic and sad moment of just ultimate racism and hatred. And the saddest part is these children, this next generation of you know, the families, they're witnessing all of this. And you can see that there's like a moment that we have between the two kids, like this moment where they just look at each other in a way. And, you know, you would think like they're innocent children. You know, you can see that the way that he was staring at the black guy in the store with absolutely no hatred, no anything negative. He was just laughing or smiling at him because he had a toy. But unfortunately, there are families that now they have grown up with this mentality, and well, they can easily brainwash these kids that are vulnerable, so they can eventually teach them to hate. So it's really sad to see that these kids are witnessing this. But when I was looking at this just I can see like the sad look on their faces. You know, obviously the little boy, the black family, the little boy in the car was just screaming and crying, seeing his dad getting beat up there. And all that sadness that was just hitting me, man. It was this frustration, this anger of them not being able to do one single thing about that. And you know, you can see the mom calling the police, but it just takes so long. This was like frustrating me so much because I'm like, it takes so long for them like to get there to send somebody to help these people that are in trouble. Like, "Oh, where are you? You know, where are you located? Stay there. What do you see around you?" Like they start asking you so many questions, and I'm just like, there's got to be a faster way where you can, you know, just at the click of a button. Maybe there is. I'm not aware of it, but where you just click a button and then, you know, you have authorities coming in pretty quick from your area. But, you know, unfortunately, she doesn't, because everything's happening so fast, she's not able to give them any information. So she just hangs up the phone, and then, you know, after the guys are done beating up the man and dropping the gallon of milk on him, I mean, just terrible seeing that. Oh my God. You know, after they leave and he's on the ground with the milk all over him and blood, the mom comes out and she's crying. You know, I thought the guy actually died, but he was just severely beaten, almost to death. But yeah, the mom comes out and she's crying, you know, and the kid is watching them drive away. And the two kids, you can see them again. Like, I remember I said the moment that they had, so they're like staring at each other in a way. And so I felt that in a way this was a lot said with nothing said at all, just visually, where it's like, why are our families like this? You know, maybe these kids were, I don't know what they were thinking, but it's just what I can take from that is like, why are our families hating each other? You know, are we supposed to do that too, or what? Is this the right thing? Because it looks wrong, like beating up another person because of how they look. It looks wrong. So like these kids are just seeing all of this, and even the little kid from the white family, like he was not condoning any of this. So he's witnessing all of this. Well, you know, eventually they drive away, and now we have a little bit more time with back with the family that we started with, and then, you know, they're having dinner, or they're having lunch during the early part of the day, and the kid starts explaining this thing about snakes. You know, we see that he grabbed a snake in the beginning of the film, but he starts explaining about like how some snakes are venomous, some are not, some can fool their prey with just the colors, their bright colors, but they're not venomous. And others are venomous, but they also, you know, others are venomous, but they don't show it in their colors. They're very dull. So this here, I mean, I was taking a while to connect it, but what I got out of it is that the way that his family sees black people, they think because they're a certain color, they're a certain color that they're venomous, they're poisonous to society. Okay, that's what I got. But they don't realize that the people that don't have those colors, among them, like the white people, they might be the most venomous than who they think is the most venomous, right? They might be the ones that are the real danger, the people surrounding them, like the influence, the hatred that all of them just have. The black person is immediately seen as this violent, troublemaking, violent or toxic type of person, when really they don't know who they are. There are people on both sides, on any culture, any skin color, that can be violent, that can be hateful, and there are those who are not, who are more logical, who are more, loving towards other people, accepting and all of that. But unfortunately, this has been focused between white and black all the time. Even with Mexican people, but it's always been mostly with the white and black, with the hatred and the racism. And I love that the child was talking about the snakes this way, and he unconsciously was already in a way telling his dad, like, you got to be careful how you see, the person of color, that's another color from you. They're not, just because they're like that, you shouldn't think that they're venomous like the snake is. You should be aware of your surroundings, of the people that you might think are not the venomous are actually the venomous people. I'm just repeating myself now, but I think that was excellent. This whole thing that the kid said, I loved how I connected to that. But anyway, as the father and the child later are, again, having their fun activities together, later on at night, they're driving back home after a long day together. And this is when we get this van that's just blocking the driveway, and the dad gets off, and well, obviously he gets kidnapped by a lot of black guys that come out of that van. And it turns out these are, maybe friends or buddies that know the man who got beat up previously outside the grocery store. And well, I thought they were going to beat him severely and just do like unquestionable things to him, because, you see when they get there, they open the garage and there's this huge broad guy just waiting for him. And I like how they put that there. It kind of gave us the impression that he was going to get severely beaten and just like the worst things were going to happen to him. But I mean, that didn't even happen. They just brought him in, and this same big guy is the actual tattoo artist. He was just gonna tattoo his whole body black, and you can see that they painted like these KKK symbols on him or something like that, right? I saw some symbols that they tattooed on him, but you see that later after they paint him, the son is actually contributing to this as well. This is when we go back to the teaching of hatred and all of this for the next generation. It's so sad, man. But the kid finds, he finally finishes with all these other guys, and he comes back to his dad. That's, he's alive still, but he's just kind of healing and from the beating. And he just kind of confirms like, oh, it's done. We got him. And the dad's just, I don't know if the dad knew about this. I'm pretty sure he did, or maybe I'm wrong. But the dad just kind of looks at the wife like, oh, I guess we're good. They got him. Or he's just looking at her like, what? I'm confused. What did you guys do? I don't know what happened there, but eventually they dropped this guy off after they tattooed him in the street. And I thought they were going to drop him off with, like in a black neighborhood, so something bad can happen to him there since he's white. They were just going to reverse the cards on him, but no, they dropped him off in his neighborhood, and they actually made him appear to be like them and make him feel how they feel when they are seen, right? Because of their color, their skin color. When he makes his way to his house, he knocks on the door and his wife is panicking, he wakes his wife up from bed or whatever, and she goes to the door with a gun, with like a revolver. And when he comes in to the house, eventually he makes his way in, he's like, his wife is freaked out. She's scared, telling him to get the heck out of the house, and she's pointing the gun at him. And the poor dude is just like trying to tell her that it's him. It's sad how he was so hateful, and, his first go-to was violence against these people, against a black person. It was really sad, but this is horrible the way he was raised. even though he's a grown man and he's conscious of his decisions, all of that came from childhood. So he's holding this. It's like engraved in his brain now. So this is the way he looks at these people. And again, regardless of what he did, I don't think he deserved anything like that. Obviously jail time, of course, but not something where they do the exact same thing to him. They take him and they beat him up and all that. But we see that they didn't do anything. It was actually a lot worse. They made him become a stranger to his own family, to his own wife and his son. So his wife is there, again, back to the scene at the end, pointing the gun at him. And well, he's trying to tell her that it's him, but something is wrong with his mouth. I think they just beat him so bad. Maybe they just hit him in the mouth or something. And he was, he got all bloody and everything. He can't even talk right. And well, I thought the wife was going to shoot him during that moment. I was like, she's going to shoot him and she's going to realize she just killed her husband. But no, she actually starts to recognize him once he comes further and further closer to her. But then the unexpected occurs, which just blew my mind just out of me. I didn't even expect any of this. The child actually shoots his own father on the back, thinking that he was also a black person. I mean, let that just sink in a little bit. His father was training him or it's just kind of educating him or raising him in such a way where he would also become like them. They would hate black people. And they would be gun trained, so that way they, if somebody comes into sight that looks like trouble, they have guns, they have buddies, and they can gather up together and beat this person up. I mean, the dad did all of this. He showed no mercy to this person in the beginning, right in front of his child. And the thing that happened to him at the end was something that was like the last thing this guy expected. His own son thinking or confusing him for one of those people that he hated so much and shooting him. I mean, this was crazy. Actually surprising to me, they didn't go for something where it was violent because they were so angry at what they did to one of their people. It was more just like, hey, we're going to do this to you and leave you out there and we're going to have you suffer on your own. Like, there's worse ways to suffer than just, violence. We're going to have you suffer by not being, recognized anymore by your own people and actually being hated, just like we have been hated. I mean, that is insane. I'm sure there's better ways to word this, but it's just crazy what they went for at the end. I didn't even think that would happen. And my God, what a heck of a twist. Heck of a twist. A crazy outcome that happened. Never would have thought, this guy never would have thought that his own son would kill him. I mean, very, very tragic. So anyway, you guys, those are my thoughts on this film. What did you guys think about this? A message I can take from this is I'm so glad we're not in those times anymore where everything was even worse. Like, racism was crazy. There's still racism happening, but I'm glad that we are in times where there are more people that come together. Of all colors, but unfortunately, a lot of these people that are, that are black or that are Mexican, they have came to a point where they're so traumatized in ways where they have a mentality that just doesn't go away. Like, they think that there is still hatred. Again, there is hatred in certain areas, but even when there's no hatred, they still think that there is. So in a lot of ways, we have to be understanding of that, but at the same time, we have to continue to show one another, not by words, but by actions, show one another that we truly care about each other. There's no better way to show somebody something than with action. So through our actions, we show what we think, what our intentions are. And this actually changes things. This changes people's mentalities or what they think was the case. But after all, it's not. So, actions are very important. Let's treat people equally, no matter who they are, right? Now, if there's a case where somebody hates you, whatever race they are, then I totally understand why there's maybe some conflict there. But just because of a color, of a skin color, come on. You know, we're way beyond that. We're way beyond that. We're better than that. So, you know, we should definitely continue to show positive actions towards each other, you know, treat each other in a positive manner. But anyway, guys, that's what I took from the film. Once again, let me know what you thought down below in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching this with me. I really enjoyed this one. It was a great film. And I see why it got Academy Awards. Very good. Anyway, my friends, thank you so much for watching with me. And I will see you on the next reaction. Peace.